Could Squadron 42 be the most anticipated space game of our time? The internet sure seems to think so, and the buzz is growing louder by the day. Squadron 42 is turning heads, and for all the right reasons. Recently, I've been overwhelmed by the sheer volume of positive comments flooding the internet. It's incredible to see the gaming community coming together, regardless of the rocky history surrounding Star Citizen, to support this single-player campaign. Now, I want to make it clear that this is an opinion piece. Obviously, some of you may have different opinions, and that's perfectly fine. But let's keep things respectful. If you disagree, be polite in the comments and keep the discussion constructive. As someone who's been following Star Citizen for a long time, I've never seen this level of unity and optimism before, aside from earlier on in the project. Today I want to talk about why Squadron 42 matters, why its success is crucial not just for Cloud Imperium Games, but for the gaming industry as a whole. So why is Squadron 42 such a big deal? It's more than just another game. It represents years of innovation, ambition, and the hopes of millions of players. This isn't just another space adventure. It's a fully fleshed out cinematic experience in a universe that has been painstakingly built for over a decade. Whether you love or hate Star Citizen, the success of Squadron 42 could be a watershed moment for immersive single-player games. We've seen an overwhelming trend where live service games dominate the landscape. But Squadron 42 brings us back to the power of storytelling, the thrill of exploration, and a reminder of what a truly well-crafted single-player experience can deliver. While Star Citizen continues to evolve into what could be an amazing live service game, it still has a long way to go. CIG has incredible plans for features like base building and crafting, which will really enhance the persistent universe. If you missed the details on that, you can catch up in a recent video I did that goes over all of the upcoming features in detail. But since it's still in active development, the game is slowly carrying on, with some things finally beginning to be added very quickly. And it's not just any story. This is an epic tale brought to life by an all-star cast. With names like Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill, Gillian Anderson, Andy Serkis, and more, this game has the potential to deliver a cinematic narrative on par with Hollywood blockbusters. The cast is stacked with incredible talent, adding emotional weight and a sense of gravitas that few other games can match. That kind of star power brings legitimacy and excitement, showing just how far Squadron 42 is willing to go to immerse players in its universe. If you're excited about this as I am, don't forget to subscribe and stay up to date with all of the latest Squadron 42 and Star Citizen news. It's worth noting that this newfound positivity around Squadron 42 isn't just isolated. Across forums, comment sections, and social media, gamers are seemingly rallying behind the game with mostly positive comments. I've read more comments on this game than I ever have in any other game's pre-launch discussions. It's truly heartwarming to see players from all walks of life uniting behind a common hope for Squadron 42's success. This kind of reception, especially considering the baggage Star Citizen has carried for years, shows that gamers want this to work. We all love a good comeback story, and many are ready to give Squadron 42 a fair chance. If it succeeds, it could pave the way for more ambitious titles in the industry, proving that big budget and immersive experiences still have a place alongside today's multiplayer-driven world. It's refreshing to see that in spite of the negative press that's followed Star Citizen for over a decade, players are willing to set that aside and give Squadron 42 a shot. And this isn't just casual players. There are hardcore space sim fans, narrative enthusiasts, and even those curious newcomers who never had an interest in Star Citizen, but are captivated by what Squadron 42 promises. That tells me that this game has real potential to shake things up. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Squadron 42 still has some issues that need addressing before release. One of the most talked about criticisms has been the turret gameplay. It's something I've personally noticed as well. While the visuals are stunning, there's a pacing issue. It feels off when you're the only one seemingly doing anything. Where are the other gunners? You want to feel like you're part of a coordinated team effort, not the lone defender of the ship. There's also the problem with the Vandal. Their AI seems to falter at times, and I've seen them almost pause mid-flight, waiting to get shot at. In a game with this level of immersion, that's something that can break the experience. These are supposed to be terrifying alien adversaries. But when they feel sluggish or hesitant, it takes you out of the moment. CIG needs to tighten up the AI and improve the pacing of these battles so that they feel as epic as they should be. Another area I think needs improvement is combat with the Vandal on foot. When we finally saw the Vandal face to face, I was surprised at how normal they felt, almost too easy to defeat. For an alien race meant to be feared, they didn't seem particularly dangerous or resilient. They felt more like taking down a standard human NPC than a terrifying alien threat. I genuinely hope that CIG takes a look at this, making them feel tougher and more intimidating in future updates. One thing that took me by surprise was how well written the story was. From the first few scenes, I felt completely enveloped by the narrative, invested in the characters we meet, and genuinely hooked on their journeys. The writing made me feel like part of the crew, each interaction and line pulling me deeper into the Squadron 42 universe. It's really rare for a game to make me feel so connected to its characters this early on, but Squadron 42 absolutely nailed it. The storytelling is personal, grounded, and filled with moments that truly make you care about the people on your team. Now let's talk about one of the most incredible cinematic moments I've experienced in gaming, the EVA section. Imagine this, you're floating in space, moving from one piece of debris to the next as you try to navigate through the chaos. All while there's a battle going off in the distance. You don't even have to imagine it, just look at how incredible this scene looked. The sense of scale, the thrill of each leap, and the silence of space all combined into an unforgettable moment. This sequence is hands down one of the most cinematic and thrilling experiences I've ever seen in a game, pulling me in completely and making me feel like I was truly there, lost in the vastness of space. And then there's the conclusion of this epic prologue. Without giving too much away, there's a powerful and emotional moment where I genuinely thought we'd lost Captain McLaren. Our character pulls her to safety just in time, securing her in the escape pod. Now we don't know what ultimately happens to her, but it gives me a bit of hope that she might still be part of the story going forward. I loved her character. She exemplifies what a true leader should be, someone we instantly gravitate toward. Her resilience, wisdom, and strength gave us a reason to care, making that moment all the more impactful. With that said, even with these minor hiccups, the fleet battles are something to behold. The prologue alone paints a vivid picture of what the future of capital ship combat could look like in Star Citizen. It reminded me of the final space battle in Mass Effect 3, the massive climactic fight where the entire galaxy converges to take on the Reapers in an all-or-nothing struggle. The sheer scale of ships and the intense coordination required in that scene brought an unforgettable energy to Mass Effect 3. Squadron 42 captures a similar epic scale, with multiple ships engaged in a brutal clash, each one contributing to the dynamic flow of battle. Imagine massive battles with multiple crew members manning turrets, and engineers managing ship systems, and captains coordinating fleet maneuvers. The scenes of capital ships trading blows really show the potential of how massive and dynamic battles can be. If Squadron 42 delivers on this mission, it will set a new standard for space combat games. These fleet battles aren't just eye candy, they have broader implications for Star Citizen itself. What we're seeing in Squadron 42's large-scale combat could serve as the blueprint for capital ship battles in the persistent universe. The scale, intensity, and coordination required to pull off these battles show just how much potential Star Citizen has to offer in terms of large-scale fleet engagements. If the prologue is any indication of the quality of the story and gameplay, then Squadron 42 will truly be something special. And this brings us to the core of what makes Squadron 42 so exciting. It's not just a standalone game, it's a piece of a larger puzzle that's gradually coming together. If CIG can deliver on the promise of Squadron 42, it will give players even more confidence that Star Citizen's ambitious vision can become a reality. But why should you care even if you're not into space sims? Well, a successful Squadron 42 could have a ripple effect across the gaming industry. It could reinvigorate interest in deep single-player campaigns, encourage developers to take risks again, and show that there's still a market for rich, narrative-driven games in a world dominated by live service titles. For years, the industry has leaned into multiplayer, microtransactions, and live service games because they are profitable. But what we're seeing now is that players still crave meaningful single-player experiences. Games like God of War, The Last of Us, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and all of the Mass Effect series have shown us the hunger is there for story-driven titles. And Squadron 42 could be the next big thing that proves big-budget solo campaigns are worth investing in. Squadron 42 stands at the crossroads of two major trends in gaming: the overwhelming success of multiplayer games and the resurgence of epic single-player experiences. Its success could inspire other studios to push the boundaries of what they can create in terms of scale, story, and gameplay. It could prove that ambition and innovation, even if delayed, are worth the wait. Now, whether you've been following Star Citizen since day one, or you've written it off entirely, there's no denying that Squadron 42 has the potential to shake things up. Now, it's important to acknowledge that Squadron 42 has been in development for over 11 years, with several anticipated release dates coming and going. And alongside it, Star Citizen is still chugging along as developers continue pushing to build out this ambitious MMO that will follow after Squadron 42. While the delays have been frustrating and even disheartening for many, I genuinely believe that both of these games will ultimately be better for it. The star-studded cast, the immersive storytelling, and the groundbreaking fleet battles will add up to something special. Squadron 42 is more than just a game. It's a beacon of what gaming can achieve when developers are allowed to dream big. The real question now is whether CIG can deliver. But if they do, we could be witnessing the beginning of something monumental, not just for Star Citizen, but for the entire gaming industry. What do you think? Are you excited about Squadron 42's potential? Have you seen the same wave of positivity online? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And before you go, I'm hosting a giveaway right now for 2 Drake Cutter starter packages. To find out more and enter, check the link in the description. But as a quick note, if you'd like to support the creation of videos like this, consider becoming a channel member. Membership comes with some great perks, like exclusive access to certain content, early access to videos, and recognition in all of my videos. It's a way to support the channel and stay connected with other passionate fans who love Squadron 42 and Star Citizen as much as you do. Plus, your support helps keep these videos coming. And if you missed the video about all the details on base building and crafting that I covered yesterday, don't forget to check out the video at the end. I covered tons of information about these 2 features that you don't want to miss. Thank you for watching. Fly safe, pilots, and we'll see you in the verse. Havoc out.